Do you get overwhelmed anytime Midjourney receives an update? With the recent release of style tuning, we have more options than ever before, and maybe you aren't sure what to do first. I've got some early tips that you should be aware of that make up a 7-step process for this new workflow. First, when we go to tune a prompt, make sure you include an aspect ratio. This is pretty important because the quiz will reflect the ratio you choose. If you know you're going to be looking at posters, include 2:3 right here. And I want to tune a style for rough sketch manga. And because I make most things in a wider aspect ratio, I'm including 16:9 right here. The second step in the process is determining whether you should be in default mode or raw mode. I'm going to make it really simple for you. Stick to the default mode. I've tested the same prompt in both modes, and the raw test is actually really similar to the default one. So I don't think you need to choose raw for now, especially because you can change it to raw after the fact, but I'll show you what I mean later on. And then style directions. Honestly, just stick to 16. That's 32 pictures to choose from. I really don't think you're going to need any more than that. It'll be 0.15 GPU credits. Submit, are you sure? Oh, heck yeah. Now there are two ways that you can select your style. Personally, I like choosing between pairs because it shows you the whole grid, and I think it just gives my brain a better idea of what I'm getting into. But alternatively, you can pick your favorite single images from a much larger grid. Granted, it's all these same pictures, but now they're split up like this, and maybe this visualization will help you better understand the style you're selecting for. That part of the workflow is completely up to you. So I'm gonna go through and make my selections. I know I asked for manga, but I'm gonna choose this one right here because I want to add that splash of color. And that really brings us to step 3 of the process. A good way to test this style is to just copy that entire prompt and paste it into Midjourney. So you're gonna use this down here, copy to the clipboard, go back into Discord. Now we're going to generate the rough sketch manga with our new style. I think those images are pretty cool looking. But now you're going to be thinking, what about the subject? Where else can this style take me? Obviously, I want to see what Batman looks like with this style. But then you'll be asking yourself, should you delete the words in the prompt that created the style? To be honest, you'll get 2 pretty different results based on what you choose. So my suggestion is to test it out, and here's how you can do it easily. The fourth part of the workflow is to make sure your fast hours are enabled, and then we're going to place squiggly brackets around the words we use to create this style code. Then you need to put a comma right before the first word. So it's going to go squiggly bracket, comma, your prompt. Close it out with a squiggly bracket. I hope that's clear. Now when we hit enter, it's going to ask us if we want to make these 2 prompts, and that's because we created a permutation with those brackets. If you aren't sure what you did, you can click below show prompts, and it's going to give you your subject with your style code, and it's going to give you your subject with your original prompt plus your style code. Best of both worlds, best way to test out what exactly those words do. Here's Batman rough sketch manga, and these are gorgeous. I'm thoroughly impressed. I like number 1 a lot. I like number 4. I like them all clearly. But look what happens when you just include the subject you want along with the style code. You'll get something like these, and I get goosebumps looking at them. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. Same style code, but very different results depending on whether you keep the original prompt. My point is that you might like either of these choices, so test it out in the way I showed you. Super easy to do. I will say though, definitely keep those words in if you want it to look the most like what you chose. And I guess what you'll learn from this is that the code doesn't necessarily mean the prompt. It's a little hard to wrap your head around, but they are separate and they do work together in some way. And if you wanted to help me out at all, it's been my goal to get to 30,000 subscribers. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. It would mean a lot. Thanks. Now for step 5 in this new workflow. Once you find a style you like, save it as a shortcut. This will save you so much time. We're going to copy the prompt plus the style code. You're going to go into the prompt box and hit / prefer option set. In the option box right here, we're going to create a name for this shortcut. I really don't know what will help your brain remember something like this, but for me, I guess I like to use acronyms, so I'm simply going to go with RSM, rough sketch manga. I hope that works. But the next thing you need to do is click to the right at +1 more. more. This is going to bring up another option right above that says value. Click on that. In the value box is where we're going to paste the entire prompt plus the style code. I'm just going to erase the aspect ratio quickly. That's not important right now. When I hit enter, it's going to save the shortcut. I could type in something like, imagine Wonder Woman --RSM. That's all I need to do. Hit enter, and that's going to expand our shortcut. Pretty amazing stuff. Quite a bit of a different look than the Batman. Maybe just a lot more color. Still, I think they're really gorgeous. But since it is different from maybe what I had originally thought, the next step of the process comes into play. And this is where you're going to try different stylized values. The stylized parameter adjusts the influence of your style code on your generated images. If you're not seeing the desired effect from your code, try combining it with higher stylized values. I know that style word is thrown out a lot, but here's all it means. If you don't think your style code is coming through in one of your prompts, you're going to increase the S value. And here's how you can do that. We're going to do Wonder Woman --RSM. Then we're going to raise the stylized value by hitting --S, and we can include a number between 0 and 1000. 100 is the default, and to increase the influence of the code, we're going to raise the value. My personal opinion is that you should try 1 lower value and 3 higher values, and we can accomplish that through permutations. So I'm going to do --S space squiggly bracket, and then I'm going to try something like 40, 400, 800, 1000. Close it with a squiggly bracket. It's going to ask us if we want to imagine these 4 prompts. Sure thing. One of the reasons I suggested trying a lower value as well is because you might like it a lot more. And to me, I'm a really big fan of these. Here's what 400 might look like. We lose a bit of Wonder Woman, and the stylized code, I think, comes through a lot more. 800, these are freaking gorgeous. I mean, again, we lost our subject, but look at number 1. That background is insane. And there's stylized 1000. See that there's a pretty big difference between just 800 and 1000? I think you should try a few different ones higher and lower than 100. And to step number 7. Once you choose a stylized value that you like, this is where you should add in some chaos. I liked 40, I liked 800, and I liked 1000, but I want to see those with a little bit of chaos. And what chaos is going to do is going to bring some variety into this grid that we generate. And why is that important? It definitely increases the odds of you finding a super unique image. For chaos, the default is 0, and you can select any number between 0 and 100. I don't recommend anything too high, let's be honest. My personal favorite is chaos 8, but I'll also show you what chaos 20 happens to look like, which I think works pretty well with higher stylized values and with a style code introduced. This is going to create 6 prompts for us. I don't think you need to run permutations like I do, but I think it will help you explore a lot faster. We'll go through these quick, and then I'll give you one last bonus tip on how to turn these into style raw. S40C8, I'm a fan, I like these. S40 Chaos 20, like look at number 4, that's amazing, but you can see how different each of these pictures are from each other. A value of just 20 can sort of explode your grid in some sense. That's why I say stick to something low if you're going to use it. 800 C8, love them. Chaos 20, I like number 1 a lot. 1000 Chaos 8, pretty cool. 1000 Chaos 20, I like number 4 a lot. That background's really cool. Now earlier, I alluded to the fact that you can change your style from default to raw after the fact. Here's how you do it, it's super simple. We'll go Batman, rough sketch manga, style, and in front of our code, we're gonna put the word raw followed by a dash. Boom, now we're in style raw and then our style code. How much of a difference is this gonna make in the generation? Let's take a look. To refresh your memory, here's what it looked like on default, and here's what it looks like in style raw. I think I might even like these a lot more, but that's why you don't necessarily need to tune it in style raw. You can just select for it after. I hope that helps you out a little. If you have any tips that I should know about, please leave them in the comments below. I hope you're doing well. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Peace.